This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one solution for building a cool-looking and professional website. For me, house hunting in Siena, Tuscany is like being in a dream. And yes, for the beauty of the city itself, but also for the amazing food. Today on Food and Home, I want to show you that behind every good restaurant is a passionate chef, whose craft is blending tradition and individuality. To live in Siena is to have at your doorstep a culinary scene which embraces rich, traditional comfort food. And to pair with our lunch, in the heart of the old town, I found two unique dream homes for sale. One, converted from a medieval convent, has high Tuscan ceilings and views into a private courtyard. And the other, also with medieval origins, will make you the king or queen of the piazza with unparalleled city views. Andiamo.
Something that I always like about going in the city is getting shots of the ambiance, of the people, of the facades, and Siena is just so conducive to that because it's a city so full of life, so full of culture. I'm back in Siena after last video, and the reason that I'm back here is because of one comment. The comment was that I didn't choose well the restaurants that I went to, that Siena is full of better places to choose. And so I did my research this time, and I want to answer the question, is the cuisine of Siena any different from the cuisine in Tuscany? I feel that we've been repeating lots of the same dishes all throughout these different towns in Tuscany.
Peachy all'agliata.
Known in other areas around here as peachy. This is called peachy alla carbonara.
We're also going to see two beautiful dream homes, which are in the same noble Siena style that we've seen so recently and that I just adore. So let's go discover Siena some more.
Piazza del Campo, home of the Palio, and surrounded by elegant shopping streets, is obviously the most famous square in Siena. However, just south to its back is another more unpretentious square, Piazza del Mercato. This is where our first stop is today. We're in Piazza del Mercato. This is what's called a hidden gem. This is one of those places where even though you can find it online, it's really hidden in a corner, tucked away on this big square. Let's see what Siena has to offer.
Intanto benvenuto nella mia bottega.
Grazie.
Questa si chiama Gino, Cacino di Angelo. Gino Cacino è un modo tipico di parlare di qua, a Siena. Gino stava per Giorgino, Cacino sta per Cacio e quindi è diventato il suo soprannome.
Vedo ci sono molte cose buone qua già in vitrina, non vedo l'ora di vedere quello che ha in mente da servire.
Allora, la mia filosofia di lavoro è questa. Io prendo tutto quello che è del territorio, però mi piace riproporlo a modo mio. La relazione che c'è fra questo posto Siena e me, che ci dobbiamo un po' fondere tutti quanti. Stuzzicheremo l'appetito con delle cose più belle e più buone che vengono fatte qui a Siena, che è il lardo. Servito, ed è il primo assaggio, con una brisée alla curcuma.
Don't be afraid of lard. It's very typical of here. It's something that melts in your mouth. It's almost like butter, right? It's an animal-based butter. And a lot of people kind of stay away from it, but it's something that's so typical, and it just provides such a nice texture when you're eating something crunchy like this.
Dopodiché c'è il patè del nero toscano, ed è un patè che va spalmato. Questo viene fatto con i fegatini, ma esistono diverse versioni. Questo è solo fegatini e va spalmato sul pane che poi porterò.
It's the same bread as this, but he pushed it down on the piastra, and so it becomes like a crunchy cracker. So good. If you're a small business owner like myself or Angelo, you need a website. And with Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video, anybody can build a professional website, even if it's your first time. Let me show you just how easy it is. So I'm at Squarespace's main page, click on Get Started. They walk you through it. choose your topic, let's say photography. Then choose what you want your website to do. Build a community, let's say sell products, showcase work. You can either choose a template or let Blueprint AI build you your custom website. Let's try that. So let's do an about section, an appointment section. All right, pages. Let's set up something for appointments. It comes with a lot of different colors to choose from, all of which are very nice. And there we go. Our first website is built. Now, of course, you do still have to customize it, but that's very easy with Squarespace as well. So head to squarespace.com/JustDreamItaly for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website or domain, use my code JustDreamItaly for 10% off your purchase.
Si passa al primo assaggio di formaggi. È una crema di pecorino e vin santo. Il formaggio intanto, la crema è preparata con tutti questi tipi di pecorino, metà semistagionato, metà stagionato, e il vin santo, che è il liquore tipico. L'assaggio è servito con dei peperoni caramellati alla menta e delle cipolle caramellate con il vin santo.
Pecorino cheese just hits. A fresh pecorino toscano. This is out of this world.
E poi passiamo a degli assaggi un po' più complessi. Tradizione di qua è la salsiccia fresca, con il tartufo. Tartare di salsiccia e tartufo servita con dei porcini trifolati e una fonduta di parmigiano.
Buonissimo. Questo col tartufo. Wow.
Per gustarla meglio quella che dovresti mangiare senza pane, non sul pane.
Non sul pane. Ora capisco perché. Quando mangi col pane, c'è il pane sopra la lingua. Non riesci a sentire tutti i sapori che poi cadono come una bomba sulla lingua. No, veramente complimenti.
E poi da ultima, la porchetta non può mancare negli assaggi.
No.
Crema di selpe e miele.
I feel like every time I'm in Siena, I need to try the porchetta. Honey mustard is an excellent, excellent complement to the porchetta meat and the peppery flavor of it. Excellent. So this is the Gino Pecorino di Angelo. No?
Gino Cacino di Angelo.
Gino Cacino di Angelo. Piazza del Mercato, Siena. Come check it out. Angelo's the owner. He'll treat you well. Grazie di nuovo, eh?
Grazie, buon lavoro, buona giornata.
Grazie anche a te. $12.16. Lunch starts at 12:15. I think we're just in time.
Osteria da Cice, we've made it to our spot for lunch. Piatti tipici senesi, so typical dishes of the Siena tradition. Let's see if it holds true. Let's see if I can distinguish these dishes from dishes that I've tried in other Tuscan cities.
Pesce al vino rosso per ragù di cinta senese.
Parmigiano reggiano da mettere sopra.
Sì, ci sta benissimo.
Ok, grazie. So we've had peachy before, and we've had cinta sinese before. However, I must say, this sauce, this ragu sauce with vino, is definitely going to give it a different flavor profile. So let's try it out. Wow. So good. Wow. This is a bomba. So for the secondo, we have a stracotto, which is a sort of beef stew that looks excellent, really out of this world. And fagioli all'uccelletto. I never understood why they call it all'uccelletto. I guess because a bird would like to eat it too, but it's basically cannellini beans, which are stewed in tomatoes. Well, this is a good stew. This is the sign of a good stew when you have meat that's just so tender the fibers just kind of fall apart. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok guy who just walks off when the meat falls off the bone because it's so tenderized from the cooking, but this is exactly what this is. So the good thing is about the Tuscan cuisine is even if you're vegetarian, they have a strong emphasis on beans. And so if you don't like the meat, you get a plate of beans, and this is delicious. This is, I almost like this better than the meat. Spectacular, really creamy. Osteria da Cice, right around the corner from the Pinacoteca of Siena. Highly recommended. I didn't eat everything this time. Let's go see a dream home. Made it to the location of the first home. I wanted to show you the street that it's on just so you have an idea of the ambience of the neighborhood, which is very special. Centro Storico of Siena. So the main context that we have here is that it's a street with lots of restaurants, lots of good things to eat, and lots of movement. So it is one of the main commercial streets of Siena, but to note is that the home is not right on the street. It's recessed in a bit of an alleyway. Beautiful, beautiful architecture. This is a deli. We have an osteria on this side. And coming up to the end, you can see a bit in the distance is, I believe it's Porta Romana. So it's one of the main gates into the city. Not sure if it's a medieval one or a Renaissance one, but that is the context that we have, because right around the corner is where the home is. And this little alleyway up top, and it is something unique, which you guys are gonna love. So we're here in front of the house we're gonna see now. This is a very interesting home because of the history that it has behind it. Once it was a fortress, then it was turned into a convent, and then into a hospital, and then probably around the 1800s turned into a civil home. So it's part of a complex that probably dates back to the Middle Ages. What's so interesting about it is, of course, those historical aspects, which you'll see on the internal architecture, but also for the fact that it has a garden with beautiful views in the historical center of Siena, and that's not something you get every day. Let's go inside. Full listing is visible at justdreamitaly.com. Let's start the tour. We walk into this beautiful entryway, which is characterized by the voltine, the small vaults on the ceiling, which are frescoed. Walking up the stairs, beautiful stone stairs, brings us into a hallway which allows you to navigate the home depending on where you want to go. So walking straight forward, you can see around the corner we have the first bathroom. So this would be a perfect guest bathroom, the entryway bathroom. However, it does have a shower, a bathtub, sink, and toilet. Walking further down this way gives us a view, a glimpse into a sort of an inner courtyard. This is part of the property. Regarding the property, the price is 1,100,000 euros. It's 270 square meters and it has a garden of 130 square meters. Crossing the hallway brings us into the highlight space of this home, and that is this gorgeous, ample, spacious living room. What stands out immediately is obviously the characteristic Tuscan ceilings with the revealed brick and the wooden beams. Now let's have a look outside. This is the back of the building, and it gives us a look into this inner courtyard. As I said, this used to be a convent, then a hospital, after being a fortress, and so you can imagine most convents of religious orders would have a sort of internal courtyard for processions, and that's probably what that architectural aspect of the home originates from. This brings us into the kind of second space of the living room, And the ceilings on this side have been affrescoed. Very highly detailed, as you can see, with lots of themes, very typical of the neoclassical repertoire. The floors are these wooden herringbone style floors. And in these tours today, I'm going to give you views out of every single window because I saw the comments last time that I didn't show you every window. What I try to do is show you the views at least out of one window, and then when the views repeat, I wouldn't show it. But in this case, I'll go out of my way to show you every single view because each one of them is as beautiful as the previous, right? So this brings us into the dining room and living room. As you can see, we've wrapped around the corner of the property, and we can see the inner courtyard from this view. Just so quaint, so peaceful. We are in the middle of a city in Siena, and yet it looks like you're in a peaceful countryside home. So this is a small kitchen. This is definitely a kitchen where you may want to update it a little bit, right? We'll walk through the dining room, and it brings us out to the second highlight of the home, and that is this garden. A garden with green, with trees, with plants, and it's a 130 square meter garden, and it gives you views of this little square behind us, right? So we're in the historic center of Siena, and yet we have a garden. So this is another very unique aspect of the property, definitely a huge selling point, I'd say. And it's raised with respect to the ground behind it, and that's because Siena is built on a hill, several hills in a very characteristic Y shape, if you've seen some of the drone shots. It does go all the way around the corner with a little serre there in the back, which can be used to store things as it is, but also eventually you would grow plants in it and control temperature according to what plants you're growing. Turning back, you can see this is the view that we have from this garden. So we have the view of that tower in the back, which is from the piazza, the main piazza. That's called the Torre del Mangia. So the very typical skyline of Siena is visible from here. And this is just a back look at the back facade. This does have a veranda mechanism to provide shade in those warmer, sunnier months. But we'll walk back in through the dining room, wrap our way around into this main hallway, and this brings us along the outside of the gorgeous living room, which we saw before. Just a peek down to remind you where we are. Those are the stairs that we came up from that other hallway. And it brings us into this kind of second space. Now, this is an interesting property. Because the ceilings are so high, you do have another floor to it on the inside, right? But let's start taking a look at the bedrooms. So this is bedroom / studio number 1. It is perhaps one of the smaller of the bedrooms, but interesting because it gives you a look into the courtyard. And so plenty of light is coming in. There isn't a single room that doesn't have a window here as well. So in addition to being spacious, it's also very luminous. Walking straight towards this hallway, you can see that is that same entry hallway that we came in from at the beginning. And so you have the possibility of closing the property up to being almost two separate units, this side and that other side with the living room. And this is the front facade. So this is where we originally came in from. You can see the door is still open. I left it open. But a gorgeous view onto Via Pantaneto below, gorgeous commercial streets, which we saw leading up to the home. And yet, it is very quiet. It is very quaint, a quaint corner here of the historical center of Siena. We'll peek back in, and I'm going to show you the other bedrooms now. This bedroom is slightly bigger than the previous one that we saw. As you can see, the herringbone wooden floors are present in all of these bedrooms and are in great shape. And there we go. The last view onto the courtyard from this side, right, from this facade of the building. I think this home has so much potential. It is very big. It can be separated with independent entrances, and so it can be lived in and additionally rented out or have a guest side and a living side. And so it gives you a lot of options. This is the third bedroom. The shutters weren't opening when I was here, and so it does seem a bit darker than the other ones. But that actually gives you a view onto that entrance patio that we came up from. So that same view as that other one that we just saw. And as you can see, it brings us up into this mezzanine level, this third floor. Very nice up here as well with the herringbone wooden floors. And this is another bedroom. So I've already counted 4 bedrooms here. This is another petite one, but interesting because it is with its own ensuite bathroom. And not just with a toilet, bidet, sink, but a full bathroom. You have a corner here for the shower too. So very complete space. And this is a view there into that inner triangular courtyard. This is part of the property. And I will show you the views even though there's not much to see. We'll turn back around. You can see the ceiling on this bedroom is also that same revealed brick with the wooden beams. And so the characteristic of the home, the personality of the home is present in each one of the rooms. Here is another bathroom up on this floor. This one has a bathtub, very spacious. And going around the corner here leads us to the 5th bedroom. I think I've counted 5 so far. This is a gorgeous space as well. As you can see on that right wall, lots of inbuilt closet space, an antique bed frame. Really matches well the ambiance provided by that ceiling. The couch there matches it as well. And so just a very unique space. And I think a great way to end out our tour is by looking out onto the view that we saw below that we started off with. And there we are. You can see the window below me are the shutters that I couldn't open in that closed bedroom earlier.
So that was home number 1. Now let's go see home number 2. The location of the second home is in Piazza Indipendenza, this beautiful square, which we'll have a look at before going into the home. So this is the square. Adjust the exposure, but as you can see, just a gorgeous, gorgeous location. It is a spot where the taxis come and pick up travelers. But a beautiful, spacious square. On this corner of it, you can see we have a nice loggia, definitely a Renaissance piece for sure. It's Christmas period right now, and so it's filled. The whole city is filled with Christmas market, but this is particularly filled with bags, with Christmas goodies. And on this side of the square, we have Teatro dei Rozzi. So this is the location of the home. Very picturesque. As you can see, also a restaurant. And the home itself is this one right here. We're on the 2nd floor, a beautiful apartment that can be an individual, 2 individual homes with a door in between them blocking them off. But definitely something that has origins in the 1200s. Let's go inside.
Once again, a link to the full listing of this property is also viewable on my site, justdreamitaly.com. So you can see we're really in the thick of it here with this apartment, Piazza Indipendenza, not far from the piazza where the Palio takes place, and we're surrounded by shops and restaurants all around. So this is the main entrance of the palazzo, of the building, and there is a private basement, a private cantina, which belongs to just this apartment. So this isn't common, this belongs to the apartment. Great place to store wines. Trust me, if you live in Tuscany, you will inevitably build up a collection of local wines. And before I forget, the asking price of this home is 690,000 euros. So go up the stairs because this property is on the second floor. But I must say the stairs weren't too steep. In a property like this, you normally wouldn't have an elevator, but the views are really what compensate the small amount of stairs you have to go up, right? So that brings us into the entryway, and what we can immediately see is the beautiful tiles, right? So I don't believe these are ancient tiles. They are modern Cementine tiles, which take a hint, let's say, from that antique style, and are just gorgeous. You can see they're very well polished in this living room as well. So we've entered into the living room. Has a gorgeous fireplace, the gorgeous floors, gorgeous ceilings, and of course, as I was mentioning before, this is a home with views. And so what we have here is the view onto Piazza dell'Indipendenza. You can see under the loggia, you can see kind of the fortress there behind us, churches, theaters, beautiful facades, just a really characteristic piazza, wonderful view, which really makes you feel like you're the king or queen of the city, right? So we'll walk back through the living room, cross the hall, and that brings us into the kitchen. So this is a rectangular kitchen, not a kitchenette, a full kitchen. You do have a stove, oven, extractor hood, sink, space also for the laundry, refrigerator. So quite nice. I do love the checkered patterns on the floors with this kind of sort of yellowish tan theme. And just a bit further down the hall around the corner, we have a full bathroom, number one. As you can see, everything is modernized, right? So this is a home which I believe is being used as a short-term rental solution. And therefore, the renovation that has taken place kind of reflects that. So it's something new, an investment has been made, but it's not cheap, right? It's not the quotation mark Home Depot special. You can see a really characteristic, well thought out renovation took place here, right? So this is the bedroom on this side, which gives us a nice view onto that church there in the back. Make our way through the hallway, and this is the characteristic. I've just walked through a door which can be closed, and so the unit can be turned into two, right? So this is the bathroom that would be on this side of the unit, and there's an independent entrance, which we'll see in a bit. This is the living room on this side, very spacious, very luminous, along with the bedroom on this side. This also has a fireplace, the gorgeous ceilings, and of course that balcony there in the back, letting in plenty of light and giving the room plenty of character here too. And so I will give you a view, obviously, out onto the balcony. We're on the facade of the building facing the piazza, right? So we are slightly to the left, giving us a slightly different view, but still very quaint in the afternoon. Around 3 o'clock, everything slows down, right? City life has its rhythms of, peak activity and calm periods, normally after lunch. Walk down the hallway. That door to the left is the independent entrance with different stairs coming up. So that's how you would get in if you closed it off. And this is the living room. So very spacious room. That beautiful border of the tiles going around in the middle of the room. And what I like, this entryway leading into the kitchen, which is of old wood, really carved with a beautiful pattern, giving lots of character to the space. Then we have, of course, the dining room / kitchen on this side of the property. Very modern, very comfortable, and very complete. As you can see, there's space for the laundry there in the back, the refrigerator, like we saw on the other side. So what you have is an area which can be a one bedroom, really a luxury one bedroom on one side and a luxury one bedroom on the other side. This side, however, has a terrace, right? This back terrace. And here you just have gorgeous, gorgeous views, not only of the rooftop there below, but looking up also of the Duomo. There's the Campanile, the bell tower with the dome, the cupola of the UNESCO World Heritage Church there in the back. And looking on this side here as well, these kind of characteristic, beautiful Siena-style homes.
Write in the comments below, what did you like best about Siena Part 2, the homes or the restaurants? We have a beautiful view from here, my goodness. If you're interested in renovations in Tuscany, follow me on Patreon. I'm renovating a home in the center of Arezzo. Love you Patreon supporters. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.